Hello, I'm Gemma and this is Non-Fic Books, and it is now the end of November, so I'm doing my wrap-up for Non-Fiction November 2017. Firstly, thank you so much to everyone who participated. This year, so many people have been involved, and I'm hoping a lot of people have really enjoyed picking up a non-fiction book they might otherwise not have picked up. It has been so good to see so many people reading books. My TBR has grown dramatically, which really it needed not at all. I already have far too many books I need to read. But I've just been absolutely overwhelmed, and there's been loads of new people over here, so thank you and hello to you. And just the overall response has been absolutely brilliant. I had a really sort of weird reading month. There were some very good books, there were some less good books, and there were almost none that I read that were actually on my TBR. So I will link the videos down below to the full reviews of these books, and I will do a rough roundup, hello dog, of the month. Firstly, I read Mary Beard's Women in Power, a Manifesto. This is the transcript of two speeches she gave, and it's all about women and feminism, and the first one is more about the role of women in public speaking and how they are often viewed and the differences to the way men are treated when they speak in public, and then the second one is women in power, and maybe we need to redefine power is her argument there. And overall, it was a really fun little book, great little stocking filler, but I would really have preferred a much weightier tome from her, because I think if she had written a book on feminism, it would have been fantastic. The next book I read was Tanya O'Donnell's A History of Courtship, 800 Years of Seduction Techniques. This was a really enjoyable book. It was sent to me by the publishers, so thank you very much. But it is very little for 800 years, and so while it is a really good starting off point, if you already have a base level of knowledge, this wouldn't be the book I'd pick up. The next book I really enjoyed, and that was Icons of England, edited by Bill Bryson. This is a collection of essays, and each essay is only a couple of pages long, so there's something like 294, something like that. Anyway, there are absolutely masses of different essays throughout this, which was absolutely brilliant, and it's all talking about the way people relate to England. It's mainly the English countryside though, really. These are people who are born and bred in England, these are people who have made England their home, and it's a really nice mix. And at the moment when everything is so sort of grim and miserable in the grand political scheme of things, is really upsetting, it's a really nice book that focuses on some positive stuff, which is a really good thing. Right, then I read some books on feminism, which was a bit of a surprise, but it was all started off by picking up this book by Laurie Penny, which is a collection of essays, and it's Bitch Doctrine, Essays for Dissenting Adults. I came across an article Laurie Penny wrote online, which totally moved me. It was all about the sex abuse scandals that have been coming out at the moment, and this was really, really good. She is so fiery, she's a great young new voice in feminism, and I highly recommend it. But as with most of these books, there will be a much more full review linked down below. One book that I haven't reviewed, because I don't have that much to say about it, is The Vagenda, A Zero Tolerance Guide to the Media by Holly Baxter and Rhiannon Lucy Cosslett. The Vagenda used to be a feminist blog, and this is the book that has come out of it. However, I don't believe they've really updated for quite a long time now, so it's less current. I am totally the wrong target audience for this. I think they made some valid points about how damaging, especially women's magazines aimed at a younger audience are, but I'm the wrong, as I don't read magazines, I am the wrong target audience for this. Maybe if you have a young-ish girl starting to grow up and is getting into teen magazines and then into women's magazines, this would be a good book, because it is looking a little bit at how to counteract some of the negative aspects of them. But overall, I was completely the wrong person, and I think that sort of argument has been done a lot better and more in depth elsewhere. The next one I picked up was Spinster by Kate Bollock, and this book, Making a Life of One's Own, I really don't like the reference to Virginia Woolf, because that makes claims that this book cannot support It's a mixed bag, this book, because I thought it was a fabulous book, but I thought it had absolutely nothing to do with being a spinster, and was mainly 5 historical biographies with a little bit of autobiography mixed in with her. More details of that will be in the full review link down below, because that was a book that, if you're interested in buying, I would go and watch, because I definitely had some quite mixed views on that. The best book of the month by a long way was Donna M. Lucy's Sergeant's Women, 4 Lives Behind the Canvas, and this was kindly sent to me by W.W. Norton, who published it this year. This was brilliant. The 4 women she looked at had fascinating and varied lives. They interrelated quite a lot, and there's certain characters like Henry James, as well as obviously Sargent, that interweave them all. And Henry James is one of those people that seem to have been... Do you know, sometimes, like when you buy a car, you see that car everywhere? Henry James is just one of those people that has been popping up in everything I read. Him and Edith Wharton at the moment. So I've started some Edith Wharton. I think I might need to read some Henry James, because I've never read any. Recommend me one if you've read some. And then the final little pamphlet that I squeezed in at the end was an essay by Robert MacFarlane, and that's the Gifts of Reading. And this is a lovely little, I think it's about £2 little book, or no, £2.50 little booklet, with an essay all about reading and the value of gifts, and especially gift-giving books. I really liked this. Again, if you're looking for a tiny little book stocking filler, this would be a great option, but it's 34 pages. And this book's tidgy, so there's not really much to say. It was good. I like Robert MacFarlane's writing. I haven't read very much by him, but it was a nice little way to round out the month. So that has been my non-fiction November. It is currently snowing like anything outside, which is completely bonkers as it is the last day of November. How was your month? What books particularly stood out for you, or are there any that you really wouldn't recommend? Please leave me how it went for you this month, and I will see you in a video soon with some exciting news. So, bye!